Utah Business is pleased to present the 2022 Women of the Year Awards, celebrating the women who have made an impact in largely male-dominated industries. Today's event is sponsored by Digital Bytes Production and Design, Scorpion, Web, Becton Dickinson Company, Dominion Energy, Gab Wireless, Minky Couture, Recursion, Swazo Business Center, and Weber State University. And now, please welcome your Master of Ceremonies, Senior Vice President of Communication and National Spokesperson for Waterford.org, Kim Fisher.
Hello, and welcome to Utah Business's Women of the Year Awards, my absolute favorite award ceremony because we are honoring some awesome women. Can I get a hand for them? That's right. Today we are honoring women who have made an impact in business, investment, education, and healthcare. Today's honorees are being honored specifically for their ability to see a path forward where others might not, as well as to forge a new path for women in the workplace. That might mean helping a company go public, inspiring a company to think differently, challenging assumptions about leadership, or taking new strides in technology and healthcare. Utah Business hopes that by hosting this event, the next generation of women watching will be inspired to take a seat at the table. For women, anything is possible. We can make an impact on this world, no matter the industry. Sometimes we just need to see it in action first to then create our own path forward. The women we are honoring today are blazing that trail for the next generation. They have ascended the ranks of their fields, directing prestigious nonprofits, heading up healthcare, technology, and education programs, leading large corporations, and pioneering paths for women. We are thrilled to have the opportunity to hear from each and every one of them today. Now, before we meet this year's honorees, though, a little bit about Utah Business. Utah Business provides award-winning, in-depth journalism on the tech and entrepreneurial businesses at the forefront of our nation's economy. Their print and digital publication reaches executives all across the state and provides live deep dive events on the industries shaping our future and the people just like today. Please welcome McKenna Milan, Assistant Editor with Utah Business.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to celebrate the 2022 Women of the Year. These award winners are being honored for their steadfast determination to make the world a better place by making bold moves in the industries they are a part, from tech to healthcare, nonprofit, government, education, and more. These women lead large teams, run charitable organizations, conduct research, strengthen communities, solve problems, and inspire others. Most notably, these honorees advocate for and are examples of the importance of advancing women in careers across all sectors. I want to take a moment to acknowledge why this event is so important. According to a recent study by McKinsey & Company, women remain underrepresented across the corporate ladder despite small gains in the pipeline from 2016 to 2021. For every 100 men promoted to manager, only 86 women are promoted. Several factors may contribute to this. According to a Harvard Business School study, for example, men are more likely to hire men, even if male and female candidates have the exact same qualifications. But though that statistic might belie an unintentional bias, the inverse is also true. According to one more study, this one by Inc. and Fast Company, women are more likely to hire women, even if male and female candidates have the exact same qualifications. This means that every time a woman starts a company or is appointed to a C-level or managerial role, a slight domino effect occurs. So in celebrating the accomplishments of these women today, we also celebrate the ways they forge new pathways for other women in Utah's business landscape. Today's honorees are proof that our state has much to offer. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Digital Bytes Production and Design, Scorpion, Web, Becton Dickinson Company, Dominion Energy, Gab Wireless, Minky Couture, Recursion, the Swazo Business Center, and Weber State University. Thank you so much for coming and celebrating, supporting these women, and congratulations to this year's honorees.
All right, we are now pleased to move on to the recognition part of today's program. We truly cannot wait for all of you to hear from these amazing women. Let's begin with our first award recipient, Diane Acevedo. Please turn your attention to the video screens.
I have not always seen myself doing what I'm doing today. However, I do love it. I love the challenge and just the macro and micro ability to strategize and collaborate with other teams. But when I was young, I wanted to be a lawyer. The switch happened in my career path when I started my MBA. And I fell in love with entrepreneurship and business and being able to bootstrap something and build it from scratch. That has definitely been a passion of mine as of recently. However, I did work in the legal industry for about 5 years. I was a litigation paralegal, so that has really helped me with building partnerships and finalizing contracts and making, different legal decisions for business. So it's been really helpful to have that background and interest as well. A challenge that I have overcome to get to where I am today would have to be just growing up in a low socioeconomic family with very limited resources and having to learn how to be resourceful. Nothing has been handed, and I have had to crawl my way to where I am today, and that has come with a lot of amazing people and mentors that have helped me and guided me.
Please welcome to the stage the Senior Vice President of Operations and Customer Experience for Gab Wireless, Diane Acevedo.
Everyone, I feel so humbled and honored to be here to receive this award and be named amongst these amazing women that are trailblazing the different sectors in the industries. I'm just full of gratitude for men that are champion of women, for women who are champion of women, for companies that are making a difference and being conscious leaders. So cheers to all of you. Thank you.
My career has really evolved. I have done a lot of different things over the years, a lot of them involving service, but I was a full-time mediator before I kind of fell into doing nonprofit work. And it's funny how it's evolved, and now I'm doing full-time nonprofit, mediating on the side, and it's just always fun to see how your career just evolves. The most rewarding thing about my job is that I get to serve kids all over the Salt Lake Valley. And not only do we get to feed these kids who are at risk to go hungry on the weekends, but we get to meet a lot of them. And it's neat to see them, their families, and kind of the challenges that they have and how tough they really are. If I could go back and give my younger self advice, I would probably tell myself to just go for everything. Don't hold back, don't second guess yourself, don't think, oh, what could happen, but just go for it. Just jump into everything feet first, 100%, and it'll all work out. I feel like there's a lot of ways to measure success, and sometimes those ways are unconventional, but for me, I really feel like I'm successful when I've got a lot of people involved and on board and working together to make a big difference. And I feel like when I'm doing it alone or when I'm just, kind of trying to handle it myself, I'm not nearly as successful as when I've got a lot of people involved and really invested and really believe in it.
Please give a warm welcome to Michelle Benedict, Director of USANA Kids Eat at USANA Health Sciences.
Head start coming up here. I am so honored to be among all of you incredible ladies. This is just so neat to see so much success and so much collaboration here within Utah. And that is something that it made me reflect on today, is just how giving our community is, our state. We have so many people involved, so many women trailblazing, so many corporations that are willing to get involved socially, involved with the community. Of course, I wouldn't be able to run the program I do without that involvement. We just love it. And to be honest, I always reflect on the kids that I serve. These kids are, they've got so many challenges, but ultimately, they're full of grit. They've got tons of character because of the challenges that they face, and we can learn so much from them, so much. And it's just very humbling to be able to serve them. And if any of you are interested in getting involved in that way, socially in the community and adopting a school, let me know. We'd love to have any of you come down and get your corporations involved. But what it really comes down to is it's just neat to see so much going on and so many amazing people. I'm really humbled and really grateful. Thank you for this honor.
I thought I wanted to be a teacher because my mother was a school teacher, but as I grew up, I realized that I wanted to make a difference in other people, and teaching was one way I could have done that. But being in healthcare is something that really makes me inspired every single day, knowing that what I do with my team, we help people save lives. Something unexpected. I guess what I would say is just thinking about a role as a general manager in a healthcare company is you can touch people in so many ways. I can touch the large team that I lead, I can touch the customers that we serve, and ultimately we want to serve the patients. That's why we're in business, to help patients get better. What advice would I give my younger self? I would tell myself to worry less and just take chances and live and learn and fail and learn from that and just go for what you want in the world. Success is just making a difference in the world and leaving a legacy. One day when I retire, I want to know that I've made the world a better place by what I've done. And then on a personal level, it's really just having a happy family and making a difference in them as well.
Please give a warm welcome to Kate Benedict, Worldwide Vice President and General Manager of Vascular Access Devices with BD, Becton Dixon and Company.
Well, thank you, and like those who came before me, I'm just really inspired by so many women who are here tonight, or to this afternoon. For me, I have to just say thank you to all of those individuals who have helped me over my almost 30-year career. I would never be where I am today if people hadn't taken the time to help me, and that was both men and women. And so that's the thing that I try to do now is to really give back. I also want to thank the teams that I've been really honored to lead and serve over the last 30 years. The things that we have together been able to achieve is, in many cases, greater than what I ever thought was possible, and that's the value of teamwork. So thank you for the honor, and I look forward to really continuing to give back to the community and giving back to other women to help them break the glass ceiling and go up to the highest levels possible. Thank you.
So when I had my first baby, I was a stay-at-home mom, and about 6 months in, I realized I needed something to kind of push me a little bit creatively, and I wanted to help supplement our income. So I started working as a contractor in the blogging space, contributing to other people's websites, and that kind of grew until I was developing recipes for other people's and businesses' websites, specifically in the grilling and barbecue space. And it was perfect because I could work from home, I was developing recipes, and I was feeding my family. And not just my family, but all of a sudden we were having friends and neighbors and other people stop by around mealtime to see what was coming off the grill and off of the smoker. And that's when I felt like I really had found my calling. I loved recipe development, I loved trying new things, I loved the science of barbecue and the history of barbecue and the community of barbecue. It felt like one big family, and so that was a natural next step, was to start my own website and begin sharing recipes on heygrillhey.com. Trust your gut first and always. There are a lot of opinions and a lot of ideas and a lot of advice and information, and it's hard to sort through what's good and what's not good. But my gut has never led me astray, and when I feel that familiar tingle, I call it chasing gold. When I feel that spark of something amazing, I go after it like a bloodhound that's caught a scent on a trail, and it's always led me exactly where I needed to be.
Really quickly, it looks like there are some folks who are still not eating yet. I know you're being polite. Please go ahead and eat. Okay, please give a warm welcome to the founder and owner of Hey Grill Hey, Susie Bullock.
I am super fortunate to be here at a table today with my mom and my daughter and my sister. My husband was like, just don't cry, it's fine. But the reality of the situation is that my mom was smashing glass ceilings in the late 90s and early 2000s in her career as a regional sales manager, and the only female regional sales manager on her team, making far less than the men in her industry. And she worried a lot about the balance between home and work. But what she gave me through her work was to feel like I could do good work and hard work, especially in male-dominated spaces, barbecue being one of those. And I never imagined that it would bring me to a place where I could be sitting amongst so many other strong, empowered women. I spend a lot of my time with dudes, actually. So this is lovely, and I'm incredibly honored to be a part of you. Super grateful that my mom is able to be here today, and my daughter as well. So hopefully us collectively truly can inspire the next generation, and I brought her because I wanted her to have that feeling that, yes, you can do anything you want, and yes, every avenue is open to you, and hers may not be barbecue, and that's great. But I'm certainly positive that she'll find her own space and her own way forward, and I wish that for the entire next generation of women. So thank you so much for the honor, for everyone that's supporting the women in your lives to become who they are and to continue to grow and continue to expand into every single space that is available. So thanks.
I grew up always wanting to be like an achiever. I'm a dreamer, you might say. I always wanted to do something big, but I didn't know what that would be. So I grew up performing. I was a musician, I was a singer, I was always on stage doing something. So I knew that I wanted to be in front of people, building something, doing something, but I had no idea what it was. So when I went to college, I started out in advertising and journalism, and then I went into sociology, and then this startup kind of just landed in my lap. I never thought I would be an entrepreneur, never thought it was possible, and here I am. So the hardest thing about starting your own company is the idea, or I guess the feeling, that it's all on your shoulders. So you have this dream, this vision, what you want to create and put out into the world, and then all of a sudden you realize you're like, it's up to me, and that's a lot. So I decided to build this startup with my husband. He's my co-founder, and that helps with the pressure because at least I have my partner with me all the time. But in the end, it lands on the CEO's shoulders, and that's a big deal. So I think it's just the pressure to be able to create something of value in the world and to make sure you actually get through the valley of death.
Riley could not be with us today. However, she did send a very special person to accept the award on her behalf. So please give a warm welcome to her daughter, Blue Butters Currit, escorted by her dad, Thomas Currit.
Well, thank you. We feel like a disappointment after, for those that know Riley, but we'll do our best. She couldn't make it. Some of you might know she had a run-in with a 2x4 and smashed her nose, and then had some complications after surgery. Then she popped some pain pills and decided to go to New York to do the conferences that she committed to. So she's in New York right now with a big cast on her nose and black eyes. So she's doing it. So we are here instead. She just wanted to have us convey to all of you her gratitude and love for this community. She feels all of your guys' support and really, really appreciates it. She feels like she has a community behind her, and she couldn't ask for any more support than you all have given her. So thank you.
I always wanted to be a doctor from the time I was a little kid. And when I went to medical school, I had the idea that I wanted to be a primary care physician, but I really fell in love with dermatology. If you would have asked me in my first year of med school, what do you want to be when you grow up? I wouldn't have probably said, I want to be the chair of the Department of Dermatology. I didn't envision that at all. The best part of my job is definitely the people that I work with. We have 230 employees in the Department of Dermatology. We have 57 faculty, and I have an incredible team around me. They are motivated, they are inspiring, they are hardworking, and I love coming to work and being with them. The main role of a chair is for their department to be successful, to allow their faculty and staff to find a meaning in their work. I will feel successful when people say, this is a great place to work, when they feel like they're achieving their goals. Those goals are in alignment with our institution. And when people say, I love my job, I love coming to work, then I feel like I've done my job. That is what I feel is satisfying.
Congratulations and welcome to the stage the professor and chair of the Department of Dermatology at the University of Utah, Dr. Christina Callis-Duffin.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here today, and thank you to Utah Business, and congratulations to the other awardees. I want to say that about 6 years ago, when I was, chosen as somewhat of an untested internal candidate to be a chair of the department, I had trouble resolving my identity of being a physician, a senior leader, and a chair in a field where there are not that many role models, women role models in academic medicine. Less than 20% of deans are women. So I'm very grateful and very honored to be given the opportunity to serve in this role. And I am very grateful to the people at Table 17 who are my team of mostly women and men. And I'm grateful for their support every day because they're very, very helpful. They're incredible role models themselves. I'm grateful to be part of this amazing group of people who will be role models to women and men in the state. And last, hopefully to my two lovely daughters who
who are here with me today, and my husband, who continues every day to help me resolve my identity crisis. So thank you.
One of the things I have always known is I like business. So I was that one kid that from the minute in high school, I was in everything business related. As soon as I got to college, I chose international business because frankly, it was all about the money. I was one of those persons that just could not wait. And I had this whole vision of this lifestyle, like think of the videos with the yachts and everything. And I'm gonna be that capitalist, I'm gonna be that like corporate person in Miami. Now I am this executive director for a nonprofit. So how far is that? What I do changes people's lives. It's amazing to be part of that journey. It's amazing to work with a single mom. And she's nervous and she isn't sure of herself and she wants to provide for her family, and then watch her 2 years later be this empowered woman, this business owner, this force that holds her head high. We see more potential in our clients that they see it themselves at first. So it's just so amazing to see these families, not just our clients, but their kids, and how it just changes all of them.
Please give a warm welcome to the President and CEO of the Suazo Business Center, Sylvia Castro.
Wow, it's such an honor to be here, and it's such an honor to be in the company of this great, amazing women. In Utah, it's usually known as, unfortunately, one of the states with the largest pay gap when it comes to men and women. But for Latinas, the pay gap is even larger. It's 50 cents on the dollar. So as you got to know, I am one of those, even though I lead a nonprofit, I believed in people being able to walk up the economic ladder and make more money for them and their family. And it's so empowering to not just help them in that journey, but to see the change in them. We believe in them and provide education, resources, capital, mentoring. And to be able to change somebody's life, that trajectory and that family is just amazing. I also want to thank my team at Suazo Business Center. They're frankly amazing, and the work could not be done without them. I want to also thank you to Dominion Energy for always, and also Bank of America for supporting me on this journey. But to me, the biggest hero is actually here, which is my mom. My mom braced the unknown and brought us to Utah in 1992 as these immigrants starting from nothing, from scratch, which is a lot of like the journey of a lot of our clients. And this is why it's incredibly dear to me sometimes when I see that mom trying to lift that family up, because I see my mom. And she's my biggest hero, and we did a lot of things together, and I'm here because of her. And I want to thank my husband, also my sister that is here. Thank you for supporting me. It's always a team effort, and family's everything. Thank you.
The thing that excites me the most about my career is the opportunity that I have to meet so many amazing women around the world. And it's a great privilege to be able to see their wisdom and help them meet their dreams and find their dreams. I've had the privilege of working with women who are seeking to rescue and rehabilitate and empower young women who have been victims of all kinds of assault and trafficking, and that has been extraordinarily powerful to see the resilience of the human spirit, and also the power of watching women find their dreams and have the courage to do what it takes to meet their dreams. The advice I would give to someone who was looking for a career like mine is look into your heart and see where your heart leads you. Find out what you're passionate about, what lights you up, what do you look at, what are the problems you look at in the world and you say, that hurts my heart, I want to be a part of the solution.
Please welcome to the stage Kathy Headley, founder and CEO of Mothers Without Borders. It's a good thing those lights are bright. I can't see you. As I think back on this journey over the last 30 years, one of the things that's touched my heart the very, very most is coming into contact with women on 5 different continents in the most extraordinarily difficult circumstances you could possibly imagine. And having the privilege to see their courage, their strength, their creativity, their humor, their serenity, especially at times when I'm so angry that I cannot even imagine how they're going to get through these difficult circumstances, and having the privilege of being able to sit knee to knee with women who create lives worth living, not only for themselves, but for their families, in their communities, for their children, and for the young women who are growing up in their care. At Mothers Without Borders, we value local wisdom. We believe that we belong to each other as a global group of humans occupying this planet, and so we are deeply committed to taking care of each other. I have a tremendous and wonderful staff, both here and around the world, who work hard. Some of the hardest things we do, I talked a little bit about in the video, rescuing girls and women out of trafficking situations and helping them create resilient circumstances where they can come back and create lives worth living. So it's a privilege, everything that I have an opportunity to do. I loved what Sylvia just said when she was talking about not just empowering women, but giving women the power to make their lives better. And that's what she's talking about when she's saying giving them the salaries they need. We work to empower women, but we also work to make sure they have power in their lives, real power, to create the lives that they deserve to live. So thank you for caring about women to this organization. Thank you so much for caring and for listening and for seeing, because that's what every woman everywhere in the world needs and wants, is to be seen and heard and have an opportunity to create a life worth living. So I'm happy to accept this award on behalf of every woman in the world. Thank you.
I started out graduating from college. I taught school for 30 years, 6th grade, and I always had a hunger or a thirst for owning my own business and being in the business world. Today, I see myself doing what I really, really love doing, and that is I love being with the women I work with, and I love the men I work with, and I love giving back to the community. And today is more fulfilling for me because it's a dream come true. I love what I do right now because Minky Couture gives back so much to everyone, whether they're a customer or whether they're working in our company. I just feel like it provides so much happiness and coziness, and I love giving back. We started the Heart of Minky, which is giving back to NICU units, which I love that we provide a service and a real need for the community, for the hospitals and the babies that are born there, the community of our culture in-house, with our customers and our employees, just creates a real sense of safety and well-being and a fun place to work and give to others.
Please give a warm welcome to the founder and owner of Minky Couture, Sandy Sumner Hendry.
This is so exciting. I'm grateful, thank you, Utah Business, for celebrating women. And I'm so impressed, and it's so exciting to be with all these outstanding, passionate women about their businesses. It's such an honor for me, and I'm very humbled. I'm excited. When I started Minky Couture, people would say to me, oh, it's just a blanket. What can you do with just a blanket? We all use them every day. But I knew I could make this blanket extra special. I want to involve the community, and we have many, many local seamstresses. I think there's 75 to 100. And thousands of blankets are hand sewn. And this has changed their lives and their financial situations. And I'm proud that, I could gather the community and promote their talents. I'm also proud that I work with fabulous women. Some are with me today. Literally, if I think it and I say it, they do it. And I'm grateful that they have the vision that I have and the passion that I have. And I'm just gratefully honored today, if that's a word. I did teach school, don't tell anybody. I'm grateful today to be amongst all of you and to accept this award, so thank you.
I was learning biology as a teenager, and my mum was actually really interested in health and in the well-being of her family and my dad, and she used to make sure that we took our vitamins and minerals, and that inspired a career in biology. And from that, I just began to focus in on sort of skin care and also our overall well-being. One of the most rewarding things about my job is that I work in the personal care industry, which means that I develop beauty products and also personal care products to make people look really great, right, for their face and their body. And that is just tremendously impactful to the women that use it. Making them look better, helping their appearance actually can have so many other benefits for them. The advice I would give my younger self is to ask for help. That might sound really simple, but I'm actually pretty independent and self-reliant. And the one thing that I have learned in my career is that the people around me are just so willing to help and support others. And those conversations that you have with people can be inspiring.
Congratulations and welcome to the head of Global Product Research and Development with Nu Skin, Dr. Helen Nags.
Hi, goodness me. It is a real honor to be here. And I am truly humbled to be in the presence of so many inspiring women. Thank you to Utah Business for putting this event on. and just being able to hear from all these other honorees. Congratulations to all of you as well. I came to Utah 16 years ago. I was living overseas, and I actually wasn't going to accept the job offer because I sort of came and I was thinking, well, I'm not sure about Utah. Is this really where I want to be? And the thing that made me say yes, even before I left the building, was the people that I met, both men and women. The Utah community has been just truly wonderful in bringing people together, and I think nurturing and creating these opportunities for women. So I'm really thankful to Utah, which has been my home now for 16 years. And I also want to thank the fantastic women that have joined me today. You know, I am inspired by the individuals that I work with, and I think that something women do really well is we create communities. And I think there's power in women lifting women, and when women rise up, we all benefit from that. And I think that's really, really important. So thank you very much. Thanks.
I definitely didn't see myself being the president of a company when I was younger. I always loved science, and I always was very curious about how to make the world a better place. I was very passionate about changing the world, and I went into engineering. I spent many, many years as an engineer working on innovative technologies to advance medicine, and I thought I'd spend my whole life as an engineer. But over the years, I was able to grow into more and more leadership and business roles, and now I get to run a company day to day. So I never expected it, but I'm glad I was open to the opportunities as they showed up. One of the first women that inspired me was my mother. She was first in her family to go to college. She just went for it unapologetically, and that was a really big influence on me, even though she didn't have necessarily the same interests as me. She wasn't in science and technology in the way I am, but I've continued to be inspired by her ability to not let society tell you who or what you can be, and to really go after your own truth. Advice I would give to my younger self is to lean into my power, that I belong anywhere, I can do anything. Women are society builders, world builders, technology builders, business builders, and I think it took me a few years, maybe a few decades into my career to really feel that. And so I wish I could have maybe felt that a little bit earlier.
Please give a warm welcome to the President and Chief Operating Officer with Recursion, Tina Larson.
Well, thank you so much. It's so wonderful to be here. And thank you to Utah Business for bringing us together today. I'm just going to say, I feel powerful right now standing up here. And that's a gift and a wonderful feeling to have. And I want to especially thank the folks that are here supporting me today, my partner of almost 30 years, Toby, Chris, who invited me to join him on this crazy journey with him, and everybody from Recursion and BioHive. You really are my strength, my resilience, and my source of power. So thank you so much for being here. And I want to dedicate this to my grandmother. A few weeks before I found out about this, my grandma passed away. And my grandma was an incredible source of resilience. She was born in Emory County, Utah, and she gave birth to my mother. She married a coal miner, gave birth to my mother in a small coal mining town far away from family. I learned so much about resilience from my grandma, and I don't think she ever could have imagined even a room like this, much less her granddaughter standing in a room like this. And one lesson I learned from my grandma was my grandma accepted everybody. As you can maybe imagine, I'm a little bit different than most people in my family, and it never mattered. I was unconditionally loved and accepted from my grandma. And I think the lesson we can all learn from that today is that resilience comes from within us as individuals, but true resilience comes from our communities, and it doesn't come from being the same, it comes from our differences in our communities. And this is why it's so important for women, for everybody who's been historically underrepresented in our communities to be empowered to take these positions. It's not just for us, I mean, it's great for us, but this is how we create resilient, powerful communities and societies. So congratulations to everybody here. All these women up here are amazing, and thank you.
When I was little, I would go camp a lot with my family in Yosemite National Park. So my big dream was to become a park ranger. And since I love horses, I wanted to be one of those park rangers who would go around on horseback and just hang out in the woods and ride horses. What got me into the job that I am in now is rather a circuitous path. My degree is in land use planning. And then with that degree, I had the opportunity to serve for 13 years on the Orem City Council. And as I served on the City Council, found that not only did I like the built environment, but I also loved community. I loved the people side of communities. What makes communities thrive? What barriers are there to keep people from thriving? And what could I do to help remove those barriers? The most rewarding thing about my job is helping people in our community, having the resources and acquiring the resources to help people move out of poverty and to improve their lives and to feel more comfortable in our community and to be thriving members of our community.
Welcome to the stage from Community Action Services and the Food Bank, Chief Executive Officer Karen McCandless.
Well, thank you. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine being here. My life took a significant detour into a whole new journey about 10 years ago, and I love what I do. I love the opportunity to help those who are less fortunate. I want to thank Utah Business for recognizing the value of women and the roles they play in the community. I want to thank my late husband who, I'm going to say Vertina, Emory County, by the way, that's where he's from, and for his support and for the years of marriage where he would encourage me to do whatever I wanted to do and supported me through that. Even if it was 3 political campaigns, he was with me. Thank my daughters who've grown into strong young women and the roles they have in their community. Want to thank, one of my dear friends is here. We have a group called the Magnificent Seven that was born of a now defunct Women's Advisory Council for an organization here in Utah. And we said we still have work to do. And so we as a Magnificent Seven go out and do things and appreciate having the role models that I have. Finally, I want to thank the women that come to our agency and the ones who are struggling, who know that they need a change and that we're there to help. Very quickly, my office is in an old remodeled Coca-Cola bottling plant. That's where our warehouse is and our offices are. My office is actually on the main floor. Right outside my window is the bike rack. Lots of people sit on the bike rack, but a lot of bikes get parked on the bike rack, and I see all sorts of things. We serve a number of people who are experiencing homelessness, and I remember looking out the window one day and seeing a bicycle in the bike rack, and attached to the back by on the back, past the seat support, was a little potted plant with leaves growing out of it, and it was live, and it was thriving, and it belonged to a woman who was experiencing homelessness. And here in her world, where everything is in crisis, all her worldly possessions were on her person or on her bicycle, she had this little plant that she was caring for. And I thought about how women in our communities, we have our little plants that we have the opportunity to share and develop and grow those little plants and make such a difference in our community. So again, thank you. Thank you, Utah Business, for the recognition and for the opportunity to promote women in our community. Thank you.
When I was younger, I didn't think that I'd be the CEO of an e-commerce company. I had plans to go to law school and be a lawyer. And while I pursued going to law school, it ended up being that I was more inclined to do work in technology and be in that industry. So I worked in tech for many years and then naturally transitioned over to e-commerce and marketplace. Don't be afraid to take risks, and don't let anybody tell you that you're too loud or you're too nice or you care too much about people. The idea about gender equity is that it's intersectional. You need to have a voice, you need to be yourself, and you need to believe that you're going to be okay. Success for me looks like, when I look at the employees we have and the colleagues, setting them up for success, making sure that we have supported them and given them the career pathing so that they can do what they love in life, whether it's at jane.com or it's just a stepping stone in their careers. That's truly a sign of great success when you can celebrate the people around you and know that you've played a small part in their journey.
Accepting the award today on Joanna's behalf, please welcome the Director of Communication and PR with Jane, Kathleen Schaefer.
I'm obviously not Joanna McKenna, but I aspire to be every day. She is with our private equity firm in Austin right now, so a lot of you in this room know how that goes. When they call, you go. So, but she sends her thanks, and she's honored to receive this recognition. I thought it would be good to read a statement that we put out for Women's Equality Day that does a really nice job of talking about the Jane mission, and this is really Joanna's vision, and it's her leadership that allows us to live this every day. Today is National Equality Day. Jane joins in the celebration of the hard work of the women who came before us and acknowledges the work that still needs to be done. Today and every day, Jane is committed to supporting and empowering women-owned business. Jane is building an inclusive economy where more than 2,000 women-owned businesses across America have access to opportunity. Whether our sellers are supporting their families from their homes or brick and mortar, Jane is championing female entrepreneurship and connecting sellers with everyday buyers across the country, redefining the modern workplace in support of families. Jane is a remote-first company that encourages our team members to put their personal lives before their professional. Jane team members have flexible work options, are welcome to bring their children to work, virtually or in person, receive unlimited PTO, sick days, fully paid parental leave, and enjoy quarterly wellness stipends. Family first and foremost. At Jane, our support of women is unwavering and always will be. Thank you.
The most rewarding thing about the work I get to do is that the passions I get to follow. Really, it's unique. It's such a unique position. When my husband became governor, I became first lady. So I had to decide what to do. I had to decide what I was passionate about, the things that spoke to me. I don't know of a lot of people that just get to do exactly what they're passionate about and choose it and pick a team to be around them. And it's just been really, really rewarding. You know, my vision for our Show Up initiative really is to connect people, but also to be a voice for people that don't feel like they have one. A lot of times our educators feel like they don't have a voice and I want to speak for them. A lot of times our friends with disabilities don't feel like they have a voice and I want to speak for them. A lot of times our
children in foster care and families that are taking care of them feel like they don't have a voice, and I want to be one for them. I want to be a voice for our communities that want to come together, that want to unite instead of divide, and I want to be a voice in that space as well. So I think my goal for our Show Up initiative really is to give people that voice, to connect people as communities, and really create empathy in those communities.
Unfortunately, First Lady Cox could not be with us today, so please, everyone, join me in giving a warm welcome to the Governor of Utah, Spencer James Cox.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here with you to pay tribute to these incredible women. Thank you for making our state a better place. I'm going to be a little emotional, so I hope you'll forgive me right now. Abby can't be with us today. Today is her dad's 76th birthday. It's also probably his last day on earth. And so she is there with him and her 9 siblings, 10 kids, at his bedside, just waiting for him to pass on from this life. If she were here today, she would want me to tell you just a tiny bit about him. She's number 5 of 10 kids, and about 30 years ago, he got sick. He's the closest thing to Job I've ever met. He's suffered greatly over these past 30 years, but always with a smile on his face. I tell you that story because Abby was the oldest child left at home. They had 2 boys and 8 girls, and the 2 boys were number 1 and 3, and they were out of the house when her dad got sick. She was about 17 at the time, and her job was to help run the farm because he couldn't. There weren't a lot of 17-year-old girls who had to run a ranch. And she took on that responsibility and became her dad's right-hand man, as she would say, because usually it was the men that were running the farms at that time, and still. And she learned so much; it changed her. She gained a confidence. She knew what she wanted to do in this life. She knew she didn't want to be a farmer anymore, but she knew she wanted something different. And she's taken those passions with her. She chose to raise our kids, but when we decided to run for governor, it was very intentional, and when we announced it was, we are running for governor. It was not me, it was not about me, it was about us and the 2 of us together as a team. And I'm grateful for her leadership, for her willingness to follow her passions. Now, every first spouse in the country has an initiative. But those of you that know Abby know it's no surprise that she has 4. She is focused, you heard about those, but she's always looking out for the most vulnerable. She believes we have an empathy crisis in this nation, and she's trying desperately to help fill that void here in our state. I have to end by thanking her Show Up team, the board members that are here, and especially Kirsten and Sarah and Emily and Linda. They're a small but scrappy team, and they're making a huge difference. Again, to all the women who are here today, Utah is a better place because of you. Thank you for sharing your light with the world. Thank you.
The most rewarding thing about my job is to watch our products, to see our students advance and not only make a living for themselves, but be a healthcare provider for the community. And when you teach one student, you've touched the whole community because they go out there and they do so much. So it's very rewarding to walk into a hospital and see our graduates at work, walk into a clinic and see what the students that I taught how to look at cells and how to look at blood and how to decide what diagnosis a person has, they're doing it. So the extension of myself. I think one advice I would have for my students to be successful which I think most of them are anyway, is to be kind, to work with others, and listen. Listen first before you make decisions. And come back and see me.
A big welcome to our Women of the Year honoree from Weber State University, the Dean and Professor, Yasmin Simonian.
They were worried that you won't be able to see me. What can I do? It's the same thing at graduation. Our podiums are too high. I wrote down things I wanted to say because I was worried that I'll forget. But greetings, everyone. It's such an honor to be standing here in front of this distinguished and dedicated audience. A warm congratulations to all of the awardees. You make me feel humble. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to everyone who has made it possible for me to arrive at this point in my life and be recognized in this manner. Thank you, Utah Business. Thank you, Weber State President Brad Mortensen. All my nominators, our Weber State family, my family, friends, mentors, colleagues, students, and all of the love from the supporters. I distinctly remember one July afternoon in 1967. I could hear my mom. I'm trying not to be emotional either. Okay. I could hear my mom screaming from the bottom of her lungs, running to the middle of the street, waving papers in her hand and saying, "Get ready. We're going to America." Mom, okay, Mom had only been waiting for 12 years for this moment. Every month she would go to the American embassy. That's when we had an embassy in Iran, in Tehran, and check to see if we made it, the immigration requirements. We only had 2 months to pack our bags, take our important documents, leave our house, our belongings, family, friends, and we finally made it to Utah, the land of opportunity, in search of better lives and solid education for my brother and I. Promises were made that if you work hard enough, you can reach your goals and realize your dreams. 5 days after our arrival, school started. What a 15-year-old girl to do in her first year of high school with absolutely no knowledge of English. So she signs up for a Spanish class. My dreams were to study science and eventually conduct research on cancer in order to save lives. Well, Spanish class taught me the English grammar I needed. So did watching Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. With many years of hard work, perseverance, mentorship, education, and support and guidance for all my supporters, I graduated with my doctorate. Then I was able to conduct research, help publish scientific papers, and teach what I had discovered and learned. That is when I realized that teaching at a university and graduating the healthcare providers of the future is much more meaningful and important than one individual achievement. The future providers are the ones that can serve the community, they can do research, and help save lives at a much further reach than just one of me. The honorees today have attained success due to many of these characteristics. They have had role models, mentorship, support of others. They are resilient, have tenacity, have vision, care, philanthropy, and they're willing to be there for others. Well done, and congratulations again to everyone. May the force be with you. Thank you.
When I originally started my career, I actually thought I was going to be in the medical field. So being in sales is something that I naturally just kind of stumbled into during my college years and found a passion for it. So originally I didn't find myself thinking I would be in sales, but I'm so glad I listened to my intuition and followed my passion. The most rewarding thing about my job is I get to help people every single day. Whether that's customers connecting with a solution or coaching and mentoring my team to believe in themselves and get their self to the next level and hitting their self and personal and career goals. The person that inspires me the most is my grandmother. She came to this country as an immigrant. Being Muslim, she really didn't have a lot of say in what she can do, so she's always been my #1 fan and supporter. That's who inspires me to do better and to always have the confidence and self-belief that I can do anything I set my mind and heart to. Some of the plans that I have for my future in my career is to own my own business. I actually started a heating and air company. Being in sales and the career, understanding the business and what it takes to grow a successful company has really led me to my next venture, and I'm continuing to work towards that future, and I'm excited to see, what the future holds.
Congratulations, and please help me welcome our final honoree of the afternoon, Sarah Tippett, Sales Director with Scorpion.
Wow, I didn't know that watching that video would kind of make me cry, but I have a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings. This is a really special moment for me. As you all saw, being a woman in my family, not having a ton of support to pursue a career in general, I knew at a young age I wanted to change that. So I did. And I couldn't be here today if it wasn't for special people in my life, because it's been a hard journey, as a lot of you women know. And it took people in my life to give me the self-belief that you can do this. One of those people are here today, Jake Rennie. I appreciate that. A lot of the people here supporting me today, people from my team, Kristen and Aaron and friends, Blair, you're a woman I look up to. Each individual, the people that have given me that self-belief, really that's where my career changed for me. Where I could have the confidence. I didn't have to prove it to anybody anymore because I could prove it to myself. I know what I had to bring to the table. And that's been kind of my motto moving forward in life. I think lastly, I just want to thank all of you guys for recognizing, such incredible women in general. I think there's a lot of change that needs to continue to happen, and in order to do that, we have to believe that we can change. Lastly, I'd like to just say I dare every single person in this room to believe in yourself. Because in order to continue to change, we have to believe that we can. And I truly believe that we can. So thank you.
Wow, okay. I have to say, I have emceed several of these events over the years, and I am just super impressed by the group of women who are here today receiving these awards. Just the thoughtfulness and the awareness of your comments as you stood up here. It's really wonderful, and I just want everybody to give them a big round of applause. And everyone else here, thank you so much for joining us today as we recognize these trailblazing women. Ladies, just know that the next generation is watching, and you could be the one to inspire the next woman in your field to continue the path you're now walking. The rest of you may have noticed that there is a QR code in the middle of your table. That's a complimentary year subscription to Utah Business. So if you scan that, complete the registration, you're going to get that publication for a year. And we also like to do our part in recycling. So if you have one of those name badges, you can leave it right there on your table, and we will collect those up. And your parking is also paid for, so if you didn't get a voucher when you walked in at the front desk, make sure you stop by the registration table as you walk out. Again, that concludes our event. Thank you all so much for attending. Congratulations to all of the 2022 Women of the Year. Have a great day.